Pollination is a process needed by plants to reproduce. For pollination by wind to occur effectively, plants must be planted relatively close to another plant. Angiosperms and gymnosperms are wind pollinated. This occurs when the wind blows the flowers and pollen is shed freely. Wind pollination means that the plants do not depend on a pollinator for survival. Wattle is an example. Flowers must be small and usually dull in colour, and the stigma must jut out from the flower. The pollen of these flowers is usually small and light. Another way of pollination is by insects. The most popular insect used for pollination is bees. This occurs by bees landing on the flower to collect nectar, used as their food, and pollen is released by the flower, picked up by another flower when the bee lands on it. The shape of the flower can sometimes restrict the access of the bees to the pollen, and some behavioural adaptations such as buzzing by the bee must be put in place to get the pollen out. Some native plants use bright colours and sweet nectar to attract bees for pollination. The pollen on these flowers is usually sticky, like the bottlebrush. Other animals, including bats, birds, and small rodents, may be used as an agent in pollination. These plants usually produce high amounts of pollen and are not fragrant, as it may deter the animals. Bright colours, on the other hand, attract them, and the pollen is usually small, powdery, and sticky. An example of this is the New South Wales waratah. A seed develops and a plant spreads its seeds to prevent overcrowding, which decreases competition and in turn increases its chance of survival. Seeds may have many adaptations for seed dispersal. Some seeds are sleekly designed to be blown long distances by the wind, such as the feather spear grass, which seeds attach to fine hairs that floats in the breeze. Seeds such as sheep's burr use animals as a source of seed dispersal and have hooks that attach to the fur of some animals and can be carried over large distances. Some seeds, such as wattle, attach lipids to their seeds so that seeds get carried to ants' nests and germinate there. Australian plants such as banksia and eucalyptus store their seeds until a fire destroys their branches. Once this happens, wind can disperse the seeds into the fire-torn land where competition is low and new plants can germinate. These seeds have adapted to the hot conditions by being stored in the thick woody branches of the tree. Some seeds, such as the mangrove and water gum, use water to disperse their seeds. These seeds may be able to float and can hold large amounts of water. Through these adaptations, seeds are able to disperse large distances. Asexual reproduction is the formation of an offspring without the use of sex cells. One type of asexual reproduction is budding. This is when a parent cell produces a replica of itself and the replica continues to grow as a new organism attached to the parent cell. An example of this is coral. Another form is totempotency. This is where a whole new plant can be made from a single plant cell. A plant combined with nutrients and minerals break off and form embryo-like structures to form an unlike plant. This can be done with carrot roots under sterile conditions. Vegetative reproduction is where angiosperms produce new plants on points of the roots or stems called nodes. An example of this is plant cuttings such as roses.